Today at Manchester Theatres, it is my absolute pleasure to be joined by dancer, choreographer, and mentor Glenn Graham, who is going to be touring with Midnight Bell, the Matthew Bourne show. It's coming to Lowry from the 1st to the 5th of July. Now, Glenn joined New Adventures Dance Theatre Company back in 2003, and he has gone on to perform in some of their most iconic shows, including The Nutcracker, The Red Shoes, and of course, Swan Lake, where he was also a rehearsal and resident director for a couple of their tours. His own choreography work includes shows such as Intimate Windows and Yet We Stand Tall, Alter Egos, and a piece for the community project of New Adventures called Doorstep Duets, and the piece was called Back to Us. He is returning as an original member to Midnight Bell. So thank you for joining us today, Glenn. And yeah, what is it like when you come back to a show that you've done before? Are you kind of slipping in straight into it, or do you look at it from a new perspective?
Hello, and thank you for having me on today.
Thank you.
So what's it like coming back to a show? Well, I think every time we create a new show, once we've toured that for the year, I don't think we really get into the fine detail of finding who that character is. I think it really just sort of it's the starting point.
Yeah.
When a show comes back, I feel like you explore more and you want to find more detail and find more of that character. And I think also you're more free in a way because you've done the show before, and then you have the sort of the headspace to find new things. So we're still finding things. We're still quite early on in the tour, on the return. So new things are popping up all the time, and I think this time round we have double cast the show. So when we first did it, 2021, it was just one cast, and then they did all the shows. This time round, after COVID, um, we have two characters playing each role. So therefore you learn from the people that are learning the new roles, and you sort of take from them as well. So it's really exciting.
Yeah, it sounds really, really cool. And as with any Matthew Bourne piece, the storytelling is phenomenal. I'm going to come to that in a moment. But
Yeah.
first, a little bit about the story. So it's based on a novel by Patrick Hamilton. So what is the story about? I know it's set in 1930s Soho, London, and it's about a bunch of characters who in a bar and things like that. So give us a little bit of background on the story.
Yeah, so Hamilton was a famous novelist back in the 1930s. He's quite famous, known for The Rope, and another one called Gaslight. That's it. I never forgot what it was then. And Alfred Hitchcock made movies of these novels. So yeah, that's what sort of kept him going throughout his career, was the fact that these were went to a screen and went to a movie status. So, but the Midnight Bell is based in London, Fitzrovia in the 1930s, and it's very much discovering relationships within a pub and a pub setting, and all the sorts of different characters that you're finding there. So my character specifically, he plays the cad. Not a very nice character, sort of uses a lot of people in the pub for his own gain. Very much locks onto one of the characters called Mrs. Roach, who's the spinster. And he's a bit of he likes to gamble. He likes to take, he's not very good with money. So that's why he's sort of using a lot of the cast members to take money from them. Sly, sort of lures people into a false sense of friendship. So everything is really for his gain.
Mm.
It's kind of ruthless character, really. It's not very, very nice. I'm surprised I don't get booed at the end, but yeah, it's a real discovery of 1930s and all the stuff that would happen pretty much under the table, really,
Mm.
during that time in London, Fitzrovia.
And I think with this piece, that's potentially there, right there, ironically, one of the things that the audience might connect with, because even though you've got these characters who kind of are showing one thing, but potentially are kind of feeling another and not
Yeah,
really. That kind of is one big thing that actually connects us because we all do that, don't we? Someone
yeah.
says, "How are you doing?" You go, "Oh, I'm fine," when actually, you're like, actually, I've had a rubbish day and blah, 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 blah. So it's something that we can all connect to, isn't it?
It's such a good point. There's an introduction to each of the characters at the beginning of the show, and in that introduction, you get an idea of who they are and what they're about to play. But actually, it all comes to life during it
Mhm.
towards the end of the show. My character specifically is very smooth, and he can at the beginning become quite likable, but in the end, obviously, is not a very nice character. So I think you're right. In life, we give out or project a certain way of being. It's not that we're false, it's just that we
Oh,
all have these not alter egos, but we all have a way that that people don't necessarily know.
yeah.
So it's interesting, and maybe you relate to that within these shows, So yeah, it's exciting.
And for a storyteller like Matthew Bourne, what a piece. I mean, he doesn't just tell stories, he kind of like inhales them and
Yeah.
then breathes them back out with every nuance of psyche and everything, doesn't he? And I mean, he's absolute master. I've seen quite a few of his pieces, a master of
Mm,
storytelling. And how does that reflect in rehearsals compared to other dance companies? Because this is a dance theatre company.
yeah. Well, working with Matt, I have to say it's a very unique experience. We do a lot of research. He provides a lot of research for you to go away and take inspiration. And what we'll do, we'll bring it into the space, and then he will then manipulate that what we've found through the research. Matt very much expects it to come from an authentic place. The audience are not, they're clever, the audience. You can't give a false performance. You have to find the truth in your character, and the audience will latch onto that straight away if they don't feel like there's any truth in it. So we spend like months before the show actually starts, researching, reading, watching movies, gaining any sort of idea of what it is like around that time or what the characters were doing around that time. So, and then Matt, and what he does, he just comes in and goes, okay, think about it this way. I've got this idea, and it's just a genius, really. And a lot of it is timing and the way that the music also tells the story as well. So Terry Davis is who's the composer for this piece. He and Matt work together very closely, and they build a scenario and build a story, and it's just genius when they both come together.
And as is the creative team in general. I mean, he works with a lot of the same people.
Yeah.
And we know we've got this award-winning team. So what is this production going to look like? Like, is it like the dark, kind of smoky vision that I'm getting in my head, or
Yeah, it's exactly that. If you think of London, maybe a cold, wet winter month, smoke in the streets, well, it's obviously just being fog maybe, and it's dark, it's very lit. The lighting by Pauline Constable is genius. It's such a beautiful lit piece. But the cast, a lot of the cast members have worked with Matt for over 20 years. There's a few that have not that have worked up to five years, but we know the way that Matt works. We know what he wants, we think. But he's still discovering it. We're still discovering new ideas. And yeah, it's got that really dark flavor to it. And it's interesting because we're out there in the summer doing, it's hot outside today, for instance, and then we have to sort of take our minds into this sort of dull, hard, wintry London vibe. But honestly, it's a very detailed character performance show, and it's and you don't hear a pin drop until it's not like a clappy show. It's they get it at the end, and they're like, oh yes, that happened to that character. It's honestly, it's so refined. It's amazing.
and I think that people are going to be able to find themselves in it because it covers love in lots of
Mm,
different ways, doesn't it? Whether
mm,
it's, the pursuit of love or unrequited love,
mm.
or forbidden love, and it doesn't always get resolved either, does it?
No, no. There's don't want to give too much away, but there's back in the 1930s, two men couldn't have a
Yeah.
relationship, and yeah, you'll see what happens to their story. But it's very much what Matt's done, I feel, with those characters, Alfred and sorry, Albert and Frank, is what he's done is brought them to the forefront because it's always around, it's always
Yeah.
existed. So I think he's been very clever with that. And their story's a sweet one. Mine, on the other hand, is not so sweet. Mrs. Roach sort of gets her own back. And then there's a character called Bone and Netta. Theirs is a very complicated relationship. Bone is very much in love and obsessed with Netta, and she sort of takes him for a little bit of a ride, sort of way, sort of thing. So yeah, there's multiple stories all happening at once, and it's yeah, I think it just unfolds so beautifully.
And loads of characters, loads of original cast members coming back as well. So
Yes.
when you were asked to do this particular show again, if you'd have been asked to do a different character, which one do you think you would have liked to have gone for?
Oh, good question. So coming back, Matt had asked me to play Albert, which I do play. I'm playing it
Oh,
tomorrow.
right, okay. Yeah.
So it's the very opposite of what my character is, what I created. Albert's a West End sort of showboy, very confident but also vulnerable at the same time. And during that time, he falls in love with a policeman, and it's you can't really express how you truly feel. So for me, it's been a bit of a challenge playing that role because I play normally a sort of a really strong, prominent, sort of confident character,
Mm.
whereas I'm finding lots of vulnerabilities. Although Albert is vulnerable, it feels quite delicate. Um,
Yeah.
so I guess I play Albert. If I was to play another part, I think I love Mr. Eccles. It's quite a fun character part, and he comes with with his walking stick, and he's got a hat, and he's very gentlemanlike, and he just wants to find love. And yeah, it doesn't kind of work out that way, I'm afraid, for him. But there you go.
Well, I'm sure if we all come and watch The Midnight Bell, we will all fall in love with yet another of Matthew Bourne's pieces coming to the Lowry. Thank you so much for your time today, Glenn. It's been an absolute pleasure, and we will catch you at the Lowry from the 1st to the 5th of July.
That's
Thank
fine.
you very much, and we will see you soon.
You always stir my imagination. Sometimes it borders on fantasy, and sometimes I find visions flash through my mind, close to reality.